CX-30 all-wheel drive, and this time we are going to be replacing this fin here with, well, we're not going to be replacing it, we're actually going to be putting a spoiler on top of it. My son wants a spoiler, obviously to make him go a lot faster, or look like he's going faster, and so we're going to be replacing that, and we're going to be doing that by taking these little grommet plugs out. There's two of those, and then behind here we're going to be getting in here. These just pull. Try and be a little bit careful as you do that. They come out there, nothing broken. Yep, we're good. And then we're going to take this one out here and this one out behind here, so there's 4. And then there's some clips we're going to pull on. We've still got to work out where those are, and then that spoiler should come off once we've disconnected the electricals. So we're going to work on that now. Okay, so one of the things you're going to have to do with the CX-30 is remove these side panels, and the reason you're going to need to do that is because they're actually lipped here underneath the main spoiler, and you can see the window here, so that's probably worth giving that a clean as well before you put it back. But essentially there's 3 clips. I prized it off from the bottom working up, and fortunately none of those clips broke. So you're definitely going to have to take these 2 sides off before you take the spoiler off. I will report more as we move forward. One of the things I've been doing is really working this clip out, because I'm noticing the spoiler is really holding at the back. So I've worked this so that it's no longer, it's actually moving there. So at least I know it's not holding from the back. I've also unclipped this, which I suspect is going to move forward. I've been trying to work some of these blue clips here and that one up here, just to see if I could get them through. One thing's for sure, as you work on the spoiler, there's a lot of cracks and there's a lot of noise that's quite scary if your objective is not to break this original spoiler. Obviously that is not the goal at all. So I think you can expect to break some clips potentially. Those are easy to replace, but yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so I want to show you what I'm doing here, because this actually is starting to get it done. I'm essentially going down the back edge, just popping these out as I go. So here I'm going to do the same, just try and get my fingers in it. Yeah, you can do this with the boot open. I might need a ladder. Let me get a better filming angle. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you here. You can see under here, there's a clip here, there's a clip here. That, interestingly, was that big white clip I was pushing through. You can see that there. You can see also potentially in there the other side of the washer thing that I undid. So now I'm just going to try and do this final piece. Look at it. Okay, there it goes. And now, just the final one. What's holding there? There's something like that. There she goes. She's out. Okay, so we're just going to come around and work out just all the clips. Not too bad, no bond. One broken clip there, easy to fix. Alright, onwards and upwards. We're going to disconnect this connector probably there in the bottom and move on. Okay, so just to show you, these are the clips. You can kind of get an idea of where the clips are on the car, what you're trying to prise off. Definitely was worth taking that white one out because that was holding on to the back. Definitely worth undoing, I think it's, yeah, the light electrics which go through that hole, and it comes up this way from the inside, so you don't have to, the whole thing will pull out, you just got to wiggle it through. We did end up breaking one clip, which is here, a little yellow plastic one, we'll buy one of those. But for the most part, not as hard as I thought. Easy when you've done it once, I guess. So very quick recap. Took these grommets out here, took those out of there, 1, 2, undid that nut, undid that nut, undid that nut, undid that nut, being careful not to drop them in the car. Did drop one, fished it back out, annoying. Work on this clip for the most part, work on the electrics there, just push those through. Work that white one out, push it through as much as you can anyway. If you can get the blue ones out, you can do that, but to be honest, I just pulled on the blue ones. I took it from the side and sort of levered up here, pushing up, and then worked my way along the back edge all the way, and it popped those out. I did end up breaking one connector, but for the most part, it came off fairly easily. Now we work on getting the spoiler, the new spoiler on the top, and making sure it's center. Back for more. Okay, so here is the new spoiler. Here is our old one removed. First thing we're going to do is work out exactly where the middle of both of these spoilers are. We're then going to offer up this to work out where the holes are going to go. We're going to work out how exactly we're going to mark where the holes go, and then we're going to start some pilot holes to connect this thing up. That's when it gets to the point of no return. My son's looking very nervous off camera. Let's see how we go. Okay, so depending on what type of spoiler you get, I'll just show you here. Our spoiler has got 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. This one here is very close to the edge, and because of that, it's behind this lighting, this brake light grid. So what we're going to have to do is take this out, take this plastic piece off, take this plastic piece off, undo this screw here and this screw here, and take this out so we can get to the back of it. And then, we're going to work visually on how near or far we want the spoiler, but also we might work the screw holes so that they're in the best place, for example, so maybe one of them doesn't come up, comes up in the middle of this versus on the edge of the plastic, so it doesn't foul with that. That would be a problem and would break this clip. So we really either want that middle one to come through here, or in the middle of that. So that's probably gonna drive where we position this spoiler at the end of the day. But for now, let's take this out and we'll go from there. So we've undone the screwdriver, but this isn't coming out. We've undone the screws on the end. So I suspect what we've got to do is these clips down here. So we're going to get we're going to prise on the left hand side of this just to sort of hold it up and move it forward. I'll do that when I've got 2 hands. And then we're going to prise these clips and try and bring this thing forwards. It's pretty solidly in there right now. So basically what I've done is I've had to lift up from the bottom here, get my finger in there, and then you can see it is starting to come out. And then if we just stand this up, you can see that these clips have started to come out. So I'm just basically working my way along left to right here, just pushing that back. So I'm pushing from underneath, pushing up this way, and I'm going to go to the next one just until it goes. See, that one's come free. There it goes. And that, apart from the electronics, is now out. Okay, so just to show you what I've done here, this has come out like this. I've turned this over, and then here you push down this, you can see it'll just lift up a little bit, and then this will come out, and then that's released that. Many minutes later, what we did here, I'm just going to give you an idea. So we took the spoiler and we try to get the middle. So we worked out the middle here. We actually took the middle off this part. Whoops, shit. So we actually took the middle off here. So you can see we drew out the middle. We took that from the right side of the spoiler all the way to the left. And then we measured between these 2 points here. put a marker with tape, and then what these have got is little sort of locating pieces here. So we actually put white out on here to mark it on the tape on the Mazda spoiler. We drew around those two pieces here. We drew around those, so we kind of got a shape on there. Not sure if you can see that pencil mark there. And then we sort of pushed down and got the white out. Then I've just drilled little guide holes, so now we know where that sits. And then we also measured from this corner to the new fin on both sides to make sure that that was right. And then, just because it's how it's going to be final, we eyeballed it just to make sure it looked like it was in the middle. And now we're going to start working out how to drill the exact holes for the spoiler. So probably what we'll do is we'll measure from this guide. You know, we've now got the shape of the spoiler arm here drawn out. I'll probably darken that out a bit using a ruler and a marker. And then we know how far from the middle those holes are, and we can measure them between here. And technically speaking, we should be able to drill the holes without even offering up the new spoiler. But hey, we are learning as we go. No doubt we'll have feedback in the comments as to maybe other ways of doing it, so we're always up to learn. But hopefully this guide is helping people through as we go, because we're learning, so hopefully you don't have to. All right, thanks guys. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work for you, but here's what we've done. We've stuck tape over our spoiler. That's our little nodule, that's our marker, and then we've marked these holes. And then what I'm going to do is turn it over. I'm going to tape this down once this nodule is in place, and actually see if we can't have the exact holes, and I'll show you that in a minute when I've finished. So technically what we've done, we've still got this taped, and we've actually taped the edge like I said. So if you looked on the underside, this would have the holes that we just taped on the floor. So we've actually technically taped the spoiler down, so we can actually see, along with my son's Christmas pajamas, what the spoiler's going to look like. There we go. Okay, so what we ended up with is this. We kind of peeled the old spoiler off, so now we've ended up with these markers here, and then here on this side we've taken it off. So you can actually see now we've got where our guide and where we want to drill the holes. Will it work? Let's have a look. Screw holes drilled. So if we look over, we think we're pretty good. We've come out just on the inside of that clip, so that's good. This one has come out right between those lines, and this one has come out right between those lines. Actually, it's just here. So technically we're probably off by a few mil, but moving it that way is going to put it on there, and moving it that way is going to put it on there. So I think we can live with this. Yeah, like we're probably like a few millimeters out of dead center, but we're going with it, and we'll maybe slot the holes a little bit to give us some movement in the new fin, new spoiler. Okay, so we are at PONR, or as we call on DIY projects, the point of no return. We have drilled the holes. What we're going to do is just, I've got a little reamer in my red toolbox in a red bag. So we're just going to go and clean these holes up, take the tape off, clean these holes up so they're nice and things. I've actually got an O-ring set here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these little O-rings on top of each one of these nuts like that, and the reason I'm going to do that is just to seal the holes a little bit so water doesn't go down into the fin as it comes down. It'll also give me a little bit of purchase just to seal this. Hopefully it won't leave a gap. If it does, what I can do is undo this and then put some black bond in there, but to stop the water. But I think we're going to be okay. We'll see how we do. Okay, so that you can just see I've just cleaned up the edges of these a little bit, cleaned them out there. That's our guide. Pretty good. Start putting the spoiler on. One of the things I want to show is here. I had to work. I've got a Dremel, so I use this Dremel with this bit just to work out some of the double layers of plastic, because what I noticed is when they're fouled, kind of like this one is here, the screw edge hits here and then goes down, and it sort of goes in skew with. So what I've done is I've worked away on these. This one's obviously pretty clear, and this one was the one I had to work the most. Sorry, where are we here? And really get it out that edge so that the screw can hit absolutely flat. Here's another one here which isn't quite as clean, but I might work some more on that just to work that down. You can see there's a whole double layer of plastic here, so I can actually take all of that away and get down to this level, but obviously you're taking a little bit of the support away, so if you can avoid that, do, but I'm just working through this at the moment. Okay, so we are all screwed in. You can see why we cleared that out, so we can get that in flat. This one here we kind of worked out. That one's gone in nice and flat. They're all in there pretty nicely. Spoiler is on, and you can see a little bit of a gap which we could fill up with waterproof cork, but generally speaking, I think that looks pretty good. We're now gonna put the light that we removed back in to here. Okay, dead simple. We're just going to reverse what we did before. So we're going to connect that back in there. We've got a screw on the left side. Over here we've got a screw on the right side. Over here we have got our low torque screwdriver, which definitely makes things easier. Important to get a low torque one so you're not threading any nuts when you screw them back in. This one is a Craftsman. It's got a little bit of an annoying button here that... Wait. That's good. And then we're going to put these back in place. And I'm going to turn it off for a minute while I work out where the heck these went. Okay, so these brackets go with the little extra bits pointing left and right. And there we have it. The light is in and the spoiler is ready to go back in. Oh, there it is. We ended up buying a clip. Clip went on. And we think it's pretty good. We'll take feedback in the comments, undoubtedly. But it's pretty well centered, and it definitely changes the look of the car. As you can see, looking from here, it's pretty mean.